So I want to quickly look at the configuration levels. And if you remember, I'm really going to focus on the bottom three levels. The server core, which is the core part of Windows operating system with a command prompt interface. The server GUI management infrastructure, which is still a command prompt interface, but includes things like server manager, MMC, some control panel applets, so it has a richer amount of local management possible. And then server GUI shell, which adds the Explorer shell, Internet Explorer. And new to server 8 is I can move between these. Previously, we had a choice between full install or server core at install time. Well, we still have that choice at install. It's now server with a GUI or server core, but I can move between them. I can add and remove these three levels, and with a reboot, I change the level of that server. So this is a server with a GUI. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, obviously I have the taskbar, the system tray, start screen. So I'm actually going to take it down to a server core box. So I'm just going to select local machine, but again, I could do this remotely. It's one of the features. I go down to the user interfaces and infrastructure, and I'm going to notice I could choose to just uninstall the graphical shell, which would leave me with server manager, MMC, etc. But I'm actually going to take that off as well. So I'm going to go down to server core. I'm going to let it restart automatically and remove. So that's going to go around, and I could close this now and let it run in the background. That would give me a little notification when it's done. And then this is going to reboot. I can always go and check on its status. I can see the tasks that are carrying. It's actually nearly finished now. So it should reboot very shortly. There we go. And then once it actually comes back, what I'm going to see is it's now a server core. So the box is coming back. And we're up. And now I'm in server core. This is my interface. Notice there's no taskbar, no system tray. If I try and launch Explorer, I explore server manager. None of these things will work. So that being said, I would now like to go up a level. I'm going to start Powershell. So I'm going to perform this configuration level upgrade using Powershell. So with this, I need to install the Windows feature, and I need to install the server GUI management infrastructure. And I'm going to say do the restart. Now, again, I could do this with the GUI remotely. I could fire up server manager remotely, connect to this box and do it remotely. But I'm just going to do it locally using PowerShell. So this is going to still leave me at a server core interface, but it's going to give me things like server manager. So we'll let this run, and then we'll come back to it after it reboots again. So it's nearly complete. Okay, now it's restarting again. So restarting, and I should point out that the management infrastructure configuration level contains the most size. When you're moving from server core and you add the management infrastructure, that's the biggest chunk of files and actual change. When you then add the shell on top of it, it's actually not a big change. It's only a couple of 100 meg. So the server management infrastructure, that's what has most of the size and contains most of the actual features. You're just still missing iExplore and Explorer.exe. So once this completes, I'm still going to see that same command prompt, but now I should be able to launch things like Server Manager, MMC, and some of the control panel applets. So now I'm back. I'll log in again. Notice now Server Manager actually just fires up. So I have Server Manager available to me now. You can see it's showing me the completion of adding in that graphical management tools and infrastructure. I said it's showing me that removal from previous, because Server Manager has been unavailable to me. So now Server Manager was launched, it's showing me, hey, I finished doing the removal. Unbeknownst to it, I've actually added this part back again. If I can close it, I can obviously fire it up again. I can launch the MMC, then add various snap-ins to it to access those. Access those control panel applets. But I still can't run. They're just not there. So at this point, I want to go back up to full server. Now, obviously I could go into Server Manager. And I could just do add roles and features. My local server. It's a feature. And I could add server graphical shell. So now I'm going to use DISM to actually add the graphical shell to this online operating system. So we'll add in that. Take it up to a full server. And now I need to do a reboot to complete. So the shell's been added. And now back to the full experience again. I have Explorer, Internet Explorer, and everything else. So I hope that was useful. I hope it gave you some idea of using those configuration levels. And see how really easy it was. It's a very quick command using DISM, Powershell, or the GUI, and then just a reboot.